Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. I'm your host, Tomas Garza, and as you can see with these headphones and everything, I don't have my usual microphone and desk today. I'm traveling. I'm in Atlanta, which is very fun. It's really great, by the way, to be out and traveling again. Oh, yeah. I think that those of us that are travelers, you might count yourself among those, have really missed the opportunity to get out. Now, we're in Atlanta for a few days. We'll be here until Monday. And I'm here with my wife, Cindy, for a business conference for her business. And I am here, and it's really fun. So that's the backdrop. And what we're doing here, of course, is playing with the lighting in the hotel room. All right. So if you're in Atlanta, Kim, are you listening? Give me a shout out. I'll be here till Monday. All right. So, guys, this is a lot of fun. And as we wait for people to hop on the live here, you'll also notice that I'm here in the Eastern time zone. So I'm coming to you earlier than I usually do, actually. I'm usually at noon Eastern or 1 Eastern because no microphone or camera gets to see or hear me before 9 a.m. local time. Not today and not ever. And the reason for that is not because I have an elaborate, complex hairdo, as you can see. It's because I value my morning time and my morning routine quite highly. And I hope that you have one that fits for your life and that really feeds you. I find that this is a great time to connect, really to get connected. And this involves for for me and also for Cindy, just time to ease into the day and set the right frame of mind. This involves journaling. It, of course, involves coffee. It involves meditation. And for me, one of the things that I do is I always read from A Course in Miracles. That has been the centerpiece of my own spirituality for the past 8 years, as you may know from watching this live stream. So I spend some time on what really matters. And that sets the mood, doesn't it? It does. I mean, if you have a morning routine like this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It sets the mood, sets the tone for the entire day. So today we've got a very wonderful lesson in the workbook for students that I want to go through with you. And it's lesson 133. I will not value what is valueless. Yeah, isn't that a beautiful statement? I will not value what is valueless. All right. So, a little backdrop here. In the previous couple of lessons, we've been devoting a lot of time to getting in touch with and growing to accept. It's very important that we accept this, the power of our own minds, which as we race through life, as we race through all of our daily drama, yeah, I use that word, drama, as we race about chasing one shiny object after another on a really limited, chaotic, frantic time schedule, maybe we lose sight of the fact that we're more powerful than we can possibly imagine. Each of us. And I'm not talking about physical strength. I'm not talking about the strength of the body, which is impermanent and withers and decays. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, it does, right? I mean, let's just be realistic about that. No matter how long you may live, no matter how healthy it is, it's not who you are. I mean, I think that deep down, we all know that. So as we run about and race about, we don't even usually stop to think about our own power, which is of the mind. If you're familiar with A Course in Miracles, you'll know that it says throughout that healing, the real work that we're doing, is not on the level of the body, it's on the level of the mind. Thought of any kind produces form on some level. This is direct from the Course. Thought of any kind produces form. So if you've been following along, you will have encountered some ideas that may shake what you currently believe to its core. And I hope it does that. And I say that with all love, because when we recognize our own power, it is a complete life-changing event. It's a game changer, so to speak. So today's lesson follows up on the truth that our minds are so powerful that they can create worlds. They make them. We made this one. We made it. We did. Yeah. Our mind is powerful enough. It creates form. So the remedy for miscreation is the level of the mind. And that's where healing properly occurs. And again, I'm not talking about necessarily healing the physical body. That may or may not come as a result of a change, a profound shift in our minds. So, A Course in Miracles has an underpinning, a dimension to it that is pure non-dualism, and that is, of course, uncompromising. So I offer this to you because it is highly, highly impactful. Now, the extent to which each of us chooses to adopt these ideas will depend. And perhaps you'll adopt them wholeheartedly. And maybe you won't, and that's all right. If you don't, no problem. One of the beauties of this is it's a self-study course, so you go at your own pace. And if you become uncomfortable, it's your ego that's uncomfortable. That's a good thing. And some stick with it, some don't. And that's okay too. I continue to offer this live stream because number one, I started going through the workbook for students. There are 365 lessons and we're on 133 today, which means more to come, of course. And because it's an important process and this is important content, whether you're catching me live ever at any point, or whether you go back and watch a replay, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or wherever this may end up, because there are a lot of options. So I continue to offer this because you never know as a teacher who you might reach across the world. And there have been people from all over the world that have tuned in and that continue to tune in to Enlightened World Network every day. You never know who you're going to reach. So your job is to simply show up and deliver the message. This is not my message. It's the message of A Course in Miracles. In other words, it's the message of Jesus. It's the message of the Holy Spirit, the message of God, the universe, source, your higher self. It's all the same. This is universal spirituality. So to the extent that you're open and willing to entertain these ideas, that's beautiful. And I hope that that may be wholeheartedly. As I can tell you from personal experience, when you embrace these ideas wholeheartedly, it is an absolute game-changing event. It will alter the course of your life because it's supposed to. That's the point. All right, lesson 133, I will not value what is valueless. We have one choice in life, may seem like we've got millions of options, a myriad of products in the supermarket, in the store, all kinds of things to choose from. Well, we have one choice. And we're talking ultimate level truth here. We can choose love or we can choose fear. We can choose God on the one hand, the ego on the other. That's the choice that we have. Everything else is a derivative of that choice. Think of how we experience love. We have many names for it. It's joy, it's connection, it's bliss, it's happiness, camaraderie. Yeah. And think of how we experience fear, frustration, maybe, anger, sadness, rage, depression, guilt, shame. We have endless lists for both. Everything that we experience is the result of our choice, mind, our internal choice of love or fear. So when we're saying, I will not value what is valueless, I will not value fear. I will not value what fear has produced, which is frustration, anger, suffering. So I want to read a paragraph from the course verbatim to you. And just, it will be here. This is material that's readily available online. You can find it anywhere. All right. So here's what applies to each and every one of us. So this is written in the second person. And may this be a message that you hear whenever you may hear it and that you take to heart. All right? You do not ask too much of life, but far too little. Again, I'm quoting here. You do not ask too much of life, but far too little. When you let your mind be drawn to bodily concerns, to things you buy, to experience as valued by the world, you ask for sorrow, not for happiness. This course does not attempt to take from you the little that you have. It does not try to substitute utopian ideas for satisfactions which the world contains. There are no satisfactions in the world. You're watching this, you're hearing this because you're ready to hear it. Otherwise, there's a lot of other phenomena out there, obviously. Yeah. A couple of important points here. True happiness is not of this world. We all deep down know that. It's wonderful to have a brand new car. It's wonderful to have money where you can fly across the country and stay in a nice hotel and attend a business conference and have fun. It's nice to be able to buy things. It's nice to have a healthy, energized physical body. But we all know that that's not where permanent happiness lies. It's just not. Everything in this world is impermanent. So when we're stating that we will not value what's valueless, we're being very powerful. If you say this and mean it in your heart, this is a very powerful, it's a very uplifting statement. That says a lot. It says a lot. So the lesson for today goes on to give us criteria for evaluating our choice. In other words, whatever we're choosing, it's either love or fear. So this is something straight out of the course and something that I would echo here for you right now. How does your choice, whatever it is, make you feel? Is there guilt involved with it? Is there any guilt involved with it? Any remorse, any woulda, coulda, shoulda voice saying, oh, I should have done that? Are you harboring any question, doubt, or regret at all? If you are, then you can be 100% confident that you've chosen the ego, that you've chosen fear. This choice is quite literally one or the other. So, as I've said before, and you will hear other spiritual teachers say, not just me. If you continue to tune in here, you'll hear it from me often, but you will hear it from others as well. If not today, at some point. There's one choice, and we choose one or the other. Now, my invitation to you is to allow that to be empowering, to lift you up, to know that just because you may have chosen wrongly in the past, you can choose yet again right now in the present moment. This is what we all get to do, and we can literally rewrite our entire experience. And I highly recommend that you give this a shot. So if your choice involves any form of remorse, guilt, fear, woulda, coulda, shoulda, you can be 100% confident that you've chosen with the ego. So for those out there watching thinking, wow, this is some heavy stuff. Well, yeah, it is. There are many spiritual paths. This is but one. And the beauty of this is it can go with any practice or any path that you've chosen that speaks to you, because it talks about universal spiritual principles. So let me come back to the paragraph that I read verbatim for you here and restate something that I hope will give you some comfort. This course does not aim to take from you what little you have. In other words, what little we have here in the world, it may feel like a lot. Maybe we have a lot of money. Maybe we have a big house or fancy cars, hot, sexy partner. We could have all of those things and more. But do we have constant, permanent happiness? In other words, do we have the peace of God, which is what we're all seeking? It's what you're seeking when you're watching this. So we all know this to be true. The course doesn't aim to take any of this. You'll notice no one is saying you must give up and turn in your brand new car that you bought that's really, really awesome. No, I'm not saying that. No one's saying that. It doesn't aim to take any of this away from us. Here in the world, we need food. We need money. We could use a healthy body. Right? We need all of these things. Spiritual practice does not involve necessarily giving this up. You'll notice no one is saying you have to take up robes and become a monk or a nun and go off to the Himalayas just to learn to sit and meditate. We're not saying that. What we're giving is a remedy for fear and suffering so that you may make progress in moving past it. This is a choice that we all make. We and we alone are responsible for making this choice. However, part of the beauty of spiritual practice is we can call out for help. We can ask for help. You can ask your guides or guide for help. This is what I do. It's what all spiritual practitioners do. And we can call on the ultimate strength to help us make the right choice. That help is always available, but for the asking. So there's no underestimating the power of prayer. There's no underestimating the power of communication with your guide or guides, right? Whether you call this guide the Holy Spirit, Jesus, God, your higher self, an angel, someone else. It's all equally powerful because there is only oneness and we're all headed to the same place. It's not a place at all, but we discover when we get there, it's where we've always been. So, as always, I want to invite you to drop in and say hello. And Jillian, hi, and Mary, hi. Thanks for tuning in here, you guys. If you're catching me on the replay here, this is a live stream that airs 6 days a week here. Now, I am traveling, so I will be catching you live here Friday and Saturday, and then I'll be traveling again, and I'll come back next week. But I want to invite you to ask any questions or leave any comments that you may have here in the comment thread. That's what this is for creating a community. And I hope that you all have a beautiful day. Happy Thursday to you. I almost said happy Friday. Why every Friday I seem to say happy Friday, but that's tomorrow. So even I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you have questions, leave them here, and I will see you again soon.